I said, hey, look up symptoms of a heart attack. And she looked at me, she goes, what's wrong? What are you talking about? You're the last guy to have a heart attack. And I said, just look it up because I'm hurting right now. And she did. After I went in the house, I tried to meditate it away. I tried to do my breath work and it wouldn't go away. And so she finally looked it up and said, hey, we better get your ass to the hospital. Went to the hospital. I was there about 4 hours and they take your blood. Your heart gives off an enzyme.
Welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast, where we bring to you the most successful, happy, fulfilled gentlemen from around the world who have been able to conquer themselves, their life, their marriage, and their businesses. You will be learning from four-dimensional gentlemen who have cracked the code to the science of having it all. The question is, how can married entrepreneurs with kids become gentlemen, achieve true freedom, and build a successful, happy, and fulfilled life, marriage, and business? This show will give you the answer for that. My name is Alex Ramirez, and I'm your host, and you're welcome to the Gentleman Success, Happiness, Fulfillment Talk podcast. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of the Gentleman Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. As always, I have an incredible gentleman with me today, and which I'm very excited to talk to, learn from, and connect with. Before I introduce him to you, though, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you who have been leaving comments, reviews, likes on all the major podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, Spotify, and to those who have been watching on YouTube as well. Thank you very much. And I want to ask you for a favor. I want to ask you that if you get something out of this interview, if you get some type of feeling, some type of information, or the inspiration to go out and take action, I want to ask you to please share this episode with one friend. Since this is how we grow, this is how we're able to share our message and motivate, inspire, and bless other men to change their lives. And while you do that, I would also appreciate that you subscribe and like this video so that you won't miss any other life-changing episode in the future. And so thank you very much. Today I have Jim Steg. Is that right, man? Jim Steg?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. And he's the writer of a best-selling book called Shopping Wood, which I bet we're going to be talking about. He's been 4-time Ironman, 127-time Olympic triathlon finisher, multiple ultra-marathon finisher. He's the owner of Steg Custom Homes, which we're going to get into as well. He's completed the Kokoro 44, which is the hardest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, course for civilians, like the hardest in the world. And he has two beautiful daughters. Owner of the 11 summits, which we're going to get into, and he has been able to find his purpose, who he is, what he wants, and where he's going, which I'm very excited to talk about as well. And Jim, thank you very much for being here, man. Thank you very much for making time. I really appreciate this, and you're welcome, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I know it's been kind of rough. You've been reaching out for a while, and I'm up here in Sedona, Arizona, and it is busy. I am very happy that it is busy, but I'm just, the custom home business up here for me has exploded, and it's fun. It's what I enjoy doing. So yeah, it's been tough for me I think we changed times a couple of times. I went in and started to fill out the form to do a podcast with you, and I dropped it, and I've got so many things going on, but I finally said, yeah, we gotta make this happen. And then I think I just recently changed it from 4 o'clock to 1 o'clock the other day. Yeah. I have some things going on at 4 o'clock. I'm like, shit. I gotta switch it again, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you switching it over to 1 o'clock.
So just for the audience, just so that they know, what it actually takes to do some kind of this, sometimes, some of this stuff. How long have I been reaching out to you and following up?
Oh,
like a year, right?
Yeah, it's been about a year. You're pretty persistent, kind of like I am. It's just very busy up here. No, we've been going back and forth for quite some time.
Yeah. So I'm excited, man. So look, the first thing that I ask my guests, that I tell them to do, is to walk us through their entrepreneurial journey in 75 seconds or less.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I can walk you through that here real quick. I worked for a large corporation from 1984 to 2002. I walked away in 2002. I got my real estate license. And I got my builder's license. My family's been in the construction industry since I've been knee high to a grasshopper, since I've been 5 years old. So I left the corporate world in 2002, got my real estate license to supplement my income. Started building homes right after that, sold a lot of real estate. My first year in real estate, I think I sold 14 million my first year. I had no clue what I was doing, but I knew that I was a grinder and I needed to be in people's faces as much as I possibly could to let them know who I am. My motto is they can't pay you if they don't know you. And so I just went out there and got after it. I started building a bunch of homes and the business grew like crazy. And here we are today. I've moved my business up to Sedona, Arizona, out of the metropolitan Phoenix, Scottsdale, Paradise Valley area. And I'm up here in Sedona, where it's absolutely just remarkably beautiful. I can walk outside and show you the red rocks all over the place up here. There's a lot of, it's the demographic that I've been looking for the last 15 years in the building industry.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I've been to Sedona a couple of times, and it is beautiful, man. Especially in the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of stuff that you can do, like hike and go to like some like lakes and ponds and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. All right. So I'm just curious, Jim, how old are you, man?
56.
56. If like, you know, like if you go to his Facebook, which we're going to link in the description of this video, to his Instagram and all of that, like Jim he's like ripped and stuff. So I'm just curious, man, how do you feel? Look, because like I come from a culture, you know, like Mexican culture, in which at 40 you're done. Like at 40 you're done. You know, you have a belly, you get tired going up the stairs and stuff like that. And at 40 you're pretty much done. At least I've seen my stepdad, my uncles, and everyone who's 40 done. So at 56, how do you feel, man?
I feel the best I've ever felt, and not just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's been a life transformation for me being up here. And I don't know if you know my whole story. I had a heart attack back on June 5th of 2019. I don't know if you knew about that, but that heart attack was actually a blessing in disguise. It actually saved my life. Now, if I didn't take nutrition and fitness seriously, I would have been dead, because my right artery was 100% blocked and I was working on 60% of a heart. And during that time is when I set up 11 Summits, which is a charity event for abused children. And from January of 2019 to May 5th of 2019, I ran 383 miles and I climbed 292,000 feet on 60% of a heart.
Damn.
I wondered why I was having a hard time catching my breath. I called a good buddy of mine who's my doctor, primary care, Dr. David Boyd. He's he's coming up to see me next week, and I'm taking him up some of these mountains, but he's my primary care. And I called him February 2019. I said, hey man, I was out on a long run. I was building my miles, anywhere 15, 20 miles. And I get to about 18 and I'm like, Dave, man, I'm having a hard time breathing. He goes, well, it's been a wet winter. Everything's blooming. He goes, it's probably your allergies. And I go, all right. I just let it go. So I ignored it. And then the 11 Summits happened on May 5th. And we did 11 Summits from Flagstaff to Phoenix. It's 50 miles, 25,000 feet, 48 hours, back to back, raising money for children, for abused children, for CASA, court-appointed special advocates. They're out of Denver. And we raised in a matter of a year and a half, we raised $250,000. I am the luckiest guy in the world. June 5th, 30 days, a month to the day after our event, going 2 days, no sleep, just hiking mountains, 50 miles, 25,000 feet. That was an extremely successful event. A month to the day, I'm working out in the garage and I felt this heavy pressure on my chest. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? I thought, oh, maybe I just hit the bar. Maybe I cracked my solar plexus. I looked over at my wife who was working out with me. My nephew was working out with me. He was working with me at the time and he left. And I looked at Teresa and I said, hey, look up symptoms of a heart attack. And she looked at me, she goes, what's wrong? What are you talking about? You're the last guy to have a heart attack. And I said, just look it up because I'm hurting right now. And she did. After I went in the house, I tried to meditate it away. I tried to do my breath work and it wouldn't go away. And so she finally looked it up and said, hey, we better get your ass to the hospital. Went to the hospital. I was there about 4 hours and they take your blood. Your heart gives off an enzyme called troponin. Troponin is it measures the severity of a heart attack. A major heart attack is 7. They took my troponin level 4 hours after I was in the hospital because it only reads 2 hours after an event. So the first 2 hours they took it, it was nothing. The next 2 hours, after 4 hours, they took my, they drew my blood. They came back in and said, we need to get you into the cath lab because there's something wrong. They said, your troponin level is extremely high. And at that point, I had no clue what they're talking about. So I got into the cath lab. They put me under basically margarita on the rocks is what they call it. So I could still hear things, but I was kind of knocked out. And they woke me up after 20 minutes and they go, check this out. And I looked at the screen and they showed me the left side of my heart. Because my heart was so healthy, the veins were reaching over to the right to protect the right side of my heart. And they asked me, they go, do you work out a lot? I go, yeah, a lot. That's why I'm in such good shape. I've never been heavy. I've never been overweight. I've always been in really good shape. And they said, well, your heart is extremely strong because if you notice these veins, it was protecting your right side. Now take a look at this other video on the right side. Showed the blood going up. The blood hit my artery, stopped, 100% blocked. And then 2 weeks later, when I got out of the hospital, or I got out of the hospital a couple of days later, but 2 weeks, I sat down with my primary care and I handed him over my labs from when I was in the hospital. And he's looking through the labs while we're having coffee. And he stopped and he turned white and he looked at me and he goes, do you know what your troponin level was? And I go, well, they said something about troponin, but I don't know what that is. He goes, Jim, people die. He said, I work in a emergency room. People come in at a troponin level of a number 7, and I've never seen anybody come back from a heart attack at a level 7. You were a level 15. He goes, dude, you should not be alive right now. You basically stared death in the face and you basically kicked its fucking ass. He goes, thank God you were in such good shape because I have never heard of anybody making it out of the hospital at a troponin level of 15.
And then just like a couple of weeks back, you were like running like dozens of miles, right?
Yeah. I mean, that 3 weeks prior to that, I ran 50 miles. I stayed up for 48 hours and I climbed 25,000 feet with a group of I call them the summiteers, 11 summits. The group of the individuals that we all together raised all this money for these abused children. So the doctor came in afterwards. The cardiologist came in after I had the stent in. And he asked me, he goes, so talk to me about what you do. And I told him, and I said, I just got done doing an event that I put together. And I said, I was up in Flagstaff, I was in Sedona, and then down to Phoenix. We covered about 400 miles and I ran 50 miles, stayed up for 48 hours, no sleep. And I climbed 25,000 feet. And he said, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
He said, you are the luckiest guy in the world. He goes, if that would have happened, if you would have had that heart attack on one of those mountains, you would have been dead.
Damn. Yeah, man.
So at that point, I went home. I looked in the mirror and I said, I'm done. I'm done with this stress because it's all stress. I had 18 to 20 jobs going at one time in Phoenix. And I'm just always worried about taking care of everybody else except for myself. And I said, I'm done. I'm fucking done with this. I'm done. So I had the opportunity to come up and build a $4 million home for a client of mine. And everything basically from February of 2020, it has just unfolded for myself. My anxiety level, gone. My stress level, gone. I wouldn't say gone. I mean, I got a little rough around the edges and my feathers ruffled a little bit this morning just because of the economy and the way things are. And my shipments aren't coming in and guys aren't showing up. And it's just, so I do but my ability to control things now. So what I did was after that heart attack, I deep dove right away into why this heart attack happened. So I started to deep dive into how I work out. And because I was a CrossFitter, I just redlined everything. How I work out, how I do my breath work. I started to really get serious on doing breath work after I work out. How I meditate. My meditation before was basically 20-minute nap. I wasn't really meditating. I was just closing my eyes and going to sleep. After my meditation, cold water therapy. I got a freezer in the garage that I keep at 34 degrees. I break the ice and I sit in up to my neck for 5 minutes every day. My cold water immersion, and then my diet. Prior, I was eating meat constantly. That's all I ate. I ate a ribeye steak 4 or 5 times a week. That's all I would eat all day long because I thought it was making me healthy and keeping my skin thin. And then I deep dove into fasting. So how I work out, how I do my breath work, how I meditate, how I do my cold water immersion, what I eat, and when I eat, fasting. I call that the Sacred Six. And I started a men's retreat up here in Sedona about a year ago, and have guys come up here and teach them, middle-aged men, on how I was spinning out of fucking control. I was taking care of everybody else. My stress level was high. I just wasn't taking care of myself. I mean, I was working out. I was sleeping 3 hours a night. I was the kind of guy that you would ask, well, hey, how many hours do you sleep a night? And I would say 3 or 4. And they're like, fuck, man, you got to be proud of that. I'm like, you know what? I'll sleep enough when I'm dead. And I almost had that opportunity. So that's basically my story.
That's crazy, man. It like 15. So like 7 is when someone has a heart attack and like they're at 7, whatever that word is, right?
Troponin.
7. Yeah. And you walked into the hospital, like you walked into the hospital having ran like dozens of miles and climbed dozens of feet and stuff with a 15, like literally with like your heart being like clogged or stopped or whatever. That's crazy, man. So that's how healthy you were. That's how fit your heart was, right?
Yeah. That was how fit my heart was. It was actually the left side is which is the most important side. It's the bigger side. It was actually I've got pictures of it and video, and the veins were actually grabbing onto the right side to help it pump. That's how strong my heart was. And my doctor, David, said, he goes, you know what, dude, you walked into the hospital and you walked out after a stent was put in, your right artery was 100% blocked, and you walked away from a heart attack of a level double of what it kills people.
Yeah, that's insane. That's unbelievable, man. So
I count my blessings every day, and at that point, that's when I went home and I said, I'm done with chasing my tail, with all this stress, with just trying to take care of everybody but myself. I wasn't giving time to my family. I've always got irons in the fire, but I was always feeling bad about not having all these jobs, 18 different jobs going perfect at once.
Hey, sorry for the interruption. Real quick, do you want to know how I've been using my podcast to build a multi-million-dollar network with over 100 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs? reach hundreds of my ideal clients with my message, coaching, service, and podcast, get invited to speak on 4 stages in the last 2 months alone, throw my own events, and have over 100 successful entrepreneurs being willing to speak at my events, become a millionaire in 1 year, get mentored by multimillionaires, and achieve goals that I thought were going to take me 10 years to achieve in 1 year, and ultimately get unstuck and make quantum leaps of progress in my business and life with less than 1 hour of work just by being myself. If you answered yes to any of those, I just want to invite you to a free training showing you how I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar network that is helping me achieve bigger income goals faster with only 1 hour of speaking and just being myself. To be honest, I thought I was going to be a multi-millionaire, speak on stages, throw my own events, and live a successful, happy, and fulfilled life of growth and impact in 10 years from now. That seemed so far away, but my podcast has been able to help me do that in less than 6 months. I'm actually doing all of that this year at the age of 21 with my podcast. I'm reaching thousands of people with my message, my service, my podcast, my coaching. I've gotten booked to speak on 4 stages in the last 2 months. And on these stages, I'm going to be getting in front of hundreds of my ideal clients, making roughly around 15 to 30K plus per event. Not only that, I have a network of over 100 high-level, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs who have all agreed to speak at my events. Getting clients is a problem of the past. I've gotten the opportunities to learn from billionaires, and I'm collapsing decades of time, and I'm literally achieving what I thought was going to take me 10 years to achieve in 1 year. All of this because I use podcasting as a networking tool, and I leveraged a rare concept called the cloak track. And I want the exact same thing for you. Just imagine where you could be in 1 year from now if you get this free training right now. That is why I'm inviting you to this training. On this short training, you're going to learn how a small group of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, course creators, and speakers have combined podcasting with this rare concept called the cloak track to build a multi-million-dollar network, reach thousands of their ideal clients with their message, books, courses, coaching, make an extra $118,800, get booked on 10 stages, and build a successful network of entrepreneurs who speak on their stage, all of this in under 6 months. I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps to make this work. Step number 1, alignment. Getting clear on who you want to be, what you want to do, your goals, your purpose, and aligning all of this with building your podcast and your ideal podcast guest. Step number 2, leveraging the cloak track to find your ideal podcast guest and never running out of them. Step number 3, leveraging the cloak track to close an interview with anyone, no matter how rich, famous, or out of your league they may seem. And step number 4, the content machine. The content machine is the key to tapping into other people's audiences. And I'm going to show you all of those 4 steps. The link to access this free training is in the description of this video. Click on it and go watch this training right now so that you can learn how you can too build a multi-million-dollar network that helps you achieve bigger goals faster and with less effort. Note, this training is only available to 18 people, so act right now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Bye-bye.
Time, and that would bring me a lot of stress. So I developed a way to navigate around that, being up here in Sedona. And the main lesson, Alex, for me is, and this is the message that I will give to your audience. At 56 years old, it took me 56 years to figure this shit out.
Okay.
And this is the most important thing. And I see it. And I'm in and out of social media all the time. I haven't really posted a lot because I've been so fucking busy. And there's just so many things going on up here and so many homes I have in design. I've got just under 20 million in design right now. No homes under $2.5 million. I've got a home coming online that's probably going to be anywhere between 10 and $13 million. It's the most important thing that a man, middle-aged man, young man, whatever, you need to love, honor, and respect yourself. Because I really started to think about that about 6 months ago. And I'm like, why was I acting this way in Phoenix? Why was I doing these things in Phoenix? Why was I doing this, and this? And it really made sense. It was because I was a hothead. I would blow up all the time. I mean, I was just, I was triggered constantly because I didn't love myself. So I was pushing that off on other people. Somebody would come at me and I would lash right back at them. It's because I didn't have confidence and love myself. Now, I have a lot of confidence in who I am, but I truly didn't love myself for who I am, accept me for who I am. And everything starts from there. My relationship with my wife, it starts with me. If I
100%.
can't take care of myself, if I don't love myself, how can I take care of my family or other people or my wife if I don't love myself?
100%. I totally agree. That's actually the foundation of what it is, what it means to be a modern gentleman, right? Like honoring, loving, and respecting yourself is the foundation. And I call it freedoms, right? I call it physical freedom and emotional freedom. So eat, work out. So you control what you eat. You control how you work out, right? When you work out, when you eat, I mean, you fast. And then the ice bath, meditation. What was the last one?
Breath work.
Breath work. Got it. Breath work.
So I do it in a sequence. So I'll go work out.
Okay.
I have a 50-pound log that I carry up one of the mountains up here. It's part of my training. It's a 50-pound log, and I go 4.7 miles and I climb 2,200 feet. And that's basically a whole body workout. Yeah, it kills your shoulders, but you're working your core, your back. And I'm not redlining anything. My heart rate's, when I'm going up, it's lucky if it reaches 120. So you're just really working on your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves, your stomach, your back, your shoulders, your back and forth. Very, very simple, but functional movements is how my workouts are now. So it's working out. When I'm done working out, I'll do my breath work.
Over there on the mountain, or when you come back?
I come back, lay down flat. I do Wim Hof breath work. And then when I'm done with my breath work, because I charged my body with oxygen, I'm able to relax my whole body. My whole physiology changes. I start to tap into, if I get really deep in my breath work, I start to tap into my pineal gland and get a little bit of a DMT release. So I kind of float away. There's been a couple of times where I just kind of float away, and I listen to a recording, an app from Wim Hof, and I kind of float away. And then all of a sudden it's like on the fourth set, and I floated off on the second set, and I wasn't even breathing for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, when I do my breath work, I'll do 50 breaths. And at the end of the 50th breath, I blow my breath out, and then I hold my breath at the bottom. My retention for holding my breath during the breath work is anywhere between 3.5 and 5 minutes, because of all that oxygen coming into your body. And just remember, I've done all of this research. I did research for about a year just on how I work out, how I do my breath work, how I eat, how I fast, just certain things. I've got a dinner coming up on the 24th with Ben Greenfield. You know who Ben Greenfield is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
The dude he's a genius. But anyways, let me get back to what I was saying. So it's how I work out, more of functional movements. It's my breath work. When I'm done working out, I'll come home and start doing my breath work. Then after my breath work, 3 sets of my breath work, I will drop into meditation for 20 minutes. And then after that, my body is completely calm. I walk out to my garage and I jump into my 18 cubic foot freezer and I do my ice bath. And then after that, I won't eat. My eating window is from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night, which is a 6-hour window. So I fast for 18 hours and then I only eat in a 16-hour window, or a 6-hour window. It's called an 18-6 fast. And I've changed my diet 100%. I'll eat meat, but not a whole lot, maybe once or twice a month. but for the most part, I'm all salmon. A lot of natural fats like avocados, nuts, seeds. I don't really eat a whole lot of sugar at all. So that I started to realize I have a picture of when I was eating all this meat and a picture of me now. My face was swollen, although I was in great shape, but all that meat was just creating issues in my gut biome. And it was just, it was
Inflammation.
inflaming me all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I call the Sacred Six. That's what I teach the guys that come up here at my retreat. And I also, it's a 3-day retreat. I haven't done it since last November because I've had to put that on hold because I'm just so busy with my custom homes. But that's my gig. You know, I learned a lot up here. I'm a totally different individual. I figure at 56 right now, this is halftime. I'm going to live till I'm 120. I know that.
Cool.
Because of just the things that I research, just the things that I do. I get a Myers cocktail and an NAD shot once a week. Once every 2 weeks. And I don't know if you've heard of NAD, but that's basically it's a very, very powerful age reversing chemical. I don't even nicotinamide. I can't even say what it is, but I tell you, I get it in a drip form once in a while. Holy shit. Because I run so much, I work out so much, because of my fasting, I'm not replenishing my body the way I need to. So I go in for this. And I got COVID about 2 months ago, and I got a little pissed off because I felt like shit. So I had a girl come down from Flagstaff and give me a 250 milligram NAD shot. You want to talk about Superman? Holy shit. It basically regenerates the ATP in your cells.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So NAD, what was the cocktail that you take?
It's called a Myers cocktail. It's a drip.
Okay.
It's a drip that they shoot in your veins. And it's basically, instead of eating vitamins, they're putting vitamins through your veins.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, Jim, I'm 21, man. I'm 21. I fast 16 to 20 hours every single day. I have an amazing diet. Like I track my calories and macros, and I eat pretty good. Well, not pretty good, very good actually. I work out like 7 days per week, right? I lift weights like 3 days per week, and on the other 4 days I like do cardio. I meditate. I take ice baths every single day. I also have a freezer, which like it's turned onto 3, so there's no ice in it, but it's freezing, man. And I've been able to like get until like 8 minutes. I do it for like 8 minutes every single day. Not every single day, like 3 to 5 times per week. And I used to do the Wim Hof breathing, and you get this sense of like being high on mushrooms or something like that, right? Like you tap into something deeper within your mind. But I stopped doing it because it takes me like 45 minutes because I've hold my breath for like 4 to 5 minutes. So 3 rounds is like it's a long time, right? It takes like 40 minutes to do. And I'm 21 and I've done all those things. I have those habits right now in place. They're part of who I am. And I'm excited, man. Like just hearing you say that right now it's halftime for you. Like at 56, you are feeling the way that you feel and it's halftime for you. It makes me excited, man. I'm excited for life. I'm excited. And then seeing you excited, it makes me excited. So
when I was your age at 21, I would look at a guy at 56 and think, fuck that, man, that guy's a grandpa. Like, holy shit. And I'm at 56 right now. And I don't look like a grandpa. I'm graying in the beard a little bit, but I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 18.
Yeah, 100%. I can't run dozens of miles and I haven't tried it, right? But yeah, man. Yeah, congrats. And so like most people, so like that's like, do you do that in the morning? The workout, breath, meditation, the ice bath, and then you fast to like a bit of more hours after that. Do you do that? Do you do all of that in the morning? From what time to what time do you do it?
All in the morning. A good 90% of it's done in the morning before I leave the house. If I don't do it in the morning, I catch it in the evening. And I tell you, ice bath. And I just hooked up with one of my subcontractors up here. He raises cows, grass-fed cows. And I just pulled a bunch of bones from him. He gave me like 50 pounds of bones, and I just made some bone broth. That
Nice.
stuff's got an amino acid in it called glycine, and glycine is a sleep aid. It helps you sleep. So when you do an ice bath at night, and then you have a cup of nice, hot, warm bone broth,
Ooh.
you sleep like a baby.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, awesome. I take bone broth as well. And that's part of loving yourself, man. It's amazing. I'm so proud of myself. Thank you. So, part of physical freedom and emotional freedom, you're working on yourself physically, emotionally, because you're meditating, you're doing breath work, you're like ice bath. You're doing that. You probably don't feel like doing it every single day, but you do it either way, right? So that trains you to get out of your comfort zone.
I didn't want to do it last night, and I had every excuse in the book that was my mind was telling me, no, you don't need to do it. You do it tomorrow. You don't need to do it. I'm like, fuck that. I walked out there and jumped in it. And that was the best thing. If an individual can get past this, because everything is right there.
Exactly.
It's very, it's very simple, but not easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it starts by being aware, right? And then choosing.
Yeah. We all have a choice every day.
Cool. Well, let's see. So when are you going to, because I want to go to one of the awakening retreats for men, man.
I haven't decided when I'm going to start it up again. I just did all my automation. Everything's automated. I mean, because I was spending so many hours on the day interviewing guys coming in. I've got everything automated. And as soon as I got everything automated, I put it on hold. So I've got my ClickFunnels on hold right now. I got everything on hold. We'll see how the economy goes, but most likely mid part of next year, sometime next year, I would say halfway through the year, but you'll see, I will start marketing again. You'll start seeing me talk about the awakening. We've definitely have changed some individuals, changed some men's lives on the way they operate, the way they think, just their confidence level, how they respect themselves. And it taps them into a whole different scenario of life. It taps them into a whole different way of living, more confident, more clear, just, instead of being a yes man all the time, they learn how to say no and
put themselves first.
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
yeah, I would say maybe halfway through 2023, midpoint, you'll see me start marketing a little bit more, and I'll reach out to you.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that. So when you say that you interview people, right? Obviously you don't accept anyone to come. So what is it that you look for someone? What is it that you look in someone to be accepted to come to the awakening retreat?
Well, number one, the individual has to be in a bad place.
Okay.
And the most important thing, number two, is they have to realize and accept and understand that they're in a bad place. Okay. Because a lot of people will say, I'm in a bad place, but they don't really want to get fixed. They don't really want to fix. It's not bad enough for them to actually fix their problems. Their problems aren't bad enough that they need they need a retreat, or they need somebody else's help. Now, what happens is that when they don't accept that and they don't believe that, it only gets worse. And they don't understand it until they hit the bottom, until they are like, oh, fuck, it might be something with their marriage. It might be something with their work. It might be something with their physical fitness. I will tell you 9 out of 10 of my conversations with men, and this is a men's program. I had women calling me all over the place, asking me to start up a women's program. 9 out of 10 men will bullshit me. No, I don't have a problem. Well, then why are you calling me? If you don't have a problem, the first step in growth, in fixing any issues that you have in your life is acceptance. You have to accept that you have an issue, and you have to be vulnerable about that issue. You have to be able to understand that what's going on in your life at this point in time, you've been trying to fix it. You've been trying this, you've been trying that, you've been trying that. I had an individual that showed up to one of my retreats, and he was hemming and hawing for, he was a good candidate. He was hemming and hawing for, 3 months. And then he called me back one day and said, hey, I think I'm ready. And, no. He called me back and said, hey, I think I'm going to put it on hold for a little while. And I asked him, I said, well, why do you think you want to put it on hold? Is your problem not that bad that you need to fix it right away? He said, no, I've put a lot of money out to coaches before, and I put a lot of money out to retreats. And then I stopped him right there. I said, stop. I said, how did that work out for you?
Well, it didn't.
He didn't say a word. He was like, I kind of get what you're saying. You spent all that money to go to these different retreats, not like the awakening, because at that point we went through what we're going to be doing here and how this transforms you from where you are to where you want to go. And I said, well, you invested all that shit with those other guys. I said, how did that work out for you? You know, they said that they're going to fix this or going to fix that. I don't tell my guys when they come out, I'm not going to fix you. You're going to fix you. I'm going to put the food on your plate, and it's up to you to eat it or not. I am not going to be your tugboat. I'll be your light tower. I'll tell you how to get there, but you got to do the work. It only works if you do. So right then and there, he gave me his credit card, and bam, he was in. And that guy right there was one of the individuals that struggled the most in that class, but he performed, and now he's performing in his life the best out of everybody.
Nice. He changed his life. That one decision
turned his life around, you know. And I don't guarantee guys anything, but I guarantee them, if you do the work that I tell you to do, I guarantee you. And I'm not going to tell you how to fix your marriage. I'm not going to tell you how to fix your business, but I will teach you the tools, and I'll show you the tools on what it will take to absolutely how to love yourself, how to appreciate yourself. And it starts with them pushing themselves physically, and then that turns into mentally, and then that turns into emotionally, and that turns into spiritually. And they're like, holy fuck, I have one individual who's an architect that he came to me, and his business, ever since he left the awakening, he learned how to say no. He was taking jobs and taking clients that he knew he wasn't going to make money. He knew he just couldn't say no because he wanted to drive revenue. I told him, I said, Adam, you have got to learn how to say no. You have got to learn how to trust yourself by giving away business is actually going to make you more money, because those people are going to want you now. Humans generally want what they can't have.
Yeah.
Ever since I moved up to Sedona, I completely revamped my business model. If you want to work with me, this has nothing to do with even building your home. If you want me to lead you to an architect, if you want me to walk you through how to value engineer the home that you want in order to make it fit within your budget and help you make your dream come true, even before I look at your plans, or even before I work with you and I bring you over to an architect, depending upon the style of home that you want and the complexity of the home, you're going to write me a check either for $30,000 or to $50,000. Otherwise I will not work with you. And what that does is they understand. I give them a list of people to talk to. I send them my YouTube videos of all my case studies of all my past clients. And what that does for my clients is it pre-qualifies people coming in to work with me. Mm-hmm. Because I've had people before, I worked with them for a year and shame on me, I was working for free. They get up and walk away. That doesn't happen with me anymore. If you want to work with me, because I know what I do, I know how good I am. And when you hire me, you get all of me. I will die for you and I will do what I can to help you make your dream come true. But that's going to cost you.
Amazing, man. Yeah, that's a great mindset to have. So we have a couple of minutes and I always finish my interviews with 5 questions. But before asking you those 5 questions, I have one question, which is there any reason why you structure, like workout, breath, meditation, eyes, and all that, like any specific order or like have you, what I'm trying to say is, does it work in any other order or have you seen that that's just the order that it works for you?
You can do it in any order.
Got it.
However, when you do it in the order, because I've experimented with this forever. For a year, I experimented with this, doing my research on everything. This order works the best because you're working out. You come back and you calm your body down with breath work. Then you calm your body down even more. So what are you doing? You're calming your body. You're calming your mind. So I'm into meditation. And then I walk out into the ice water when my mind and body is at its calmest. And then I eat solid food. The diet has changed up. A lot of salmon, a lot of fish, a lot of salad, a lot of vegetables, a little bit of meat here and there, a little bit of carbohydrates with rice. And then I fast. I'll fast. So you can, the last 2, you can, obviously you mix them up, but I don't eat till 2:00 in the afternoon. And I will tell you, fasting is one of the best things you can for productivity and nutrition. What it does for your body. You actually build testosterone when you fast.
Yeah, that's a good insight. Yeah. And you get more focused and you have more energy and all that. Yeah. I also have breakfast like at 2 p.m. And my entire morning is like extremely productive because I don't have to worry about food or eating or feeling slow after I eat or whatever. And so yeah, it works for me as well. Yeah, man. I'll try it in that specific order. I'll try it in that specific order. So thank you, man. So the first question is, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self if you could? Like, not redo your life or change anything, just give your 20-year-old self some advice. What would that be?
Patience.
Cool.
Slow down, relax. Don't be in such a hurry.
At 56, you're going to be halftime, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, if you do things the right way and not lead a life of stress, because you know how we are when we're young. I mean, look at you. You want everything. You got to have it now. That's how I was. It's like, bam, I got to get this. I got it. And I was like that up until about 3 years ago. So my biggest advice to a young individual, young man, young woman, patience. Just be patient and love who you are. Appreciate yourself and don't give a fuck what anybody says about you, because it doesn't matter, because you're the only one that's going to be in the casket when you go. So if you're spending all your life trying to make other people make yourself look good in front of other people or make other people happy, you know what? This is very hard. This is very harsh to say, but the world's not going to stop turning if you die today.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to go. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to be patient. You need to love yourself. You need to honor yourself. You need to respect yourself. and don't worry what other people say, because it doesn't fucking matter.
Amazing, man. Awesome. So the next question is around mindset. What is a mindset shift that you've had that you can share that has contributed to your success?
Um, uh, recognizing who I am and not questioning who I am. Because it's so easy for us to look at, oh, I'm not good enough to do that, or I'm not strong enough to do that, or I'm not talented enough to do that. Bullshit. My motto is, you might be stronger, you might be faster, you might be more intelligent, but there's one thing that you won't beat me at.
Consistency.
I will fucking outwork you until you die.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I almost killed myself outworking, trying to outwork myself.
Yeah.
I think your second question is, you have to believe in yourself, believe in who you are, because I'm not a very fast runner. I mean, I'm not a world-class athlete. I just did a 31 miler, 8,000 feet. I've got a 62 miler, 18,000 feet in July. I've got a 100-mile race from Flagstaff to the Grand Canyon, Stagecoach 100. And if I didn't believe in myself, I would be like, I shouldn't be in these races. Who the fuck?
You wouldn't even try it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to believe in yourself.
Great. Mindset map. So any strategy, man, tactic, tool, or piece of advice to help people gain more clarity around who they are, what they want, and where they're going? Clarity.
Let's see if I understand you correctly. If it's say it's something somebody wants. So if somebody's clear on, okay, I want to start this business, or they want to do something in their life. You need, in order for you to be good at something, a map. In order for you to be good at something, you need to be a relentless lunatic at what you want to be. You need to research it. You need to apply it. You need to, with custom homes with me, I, for years and years and years, tried to figure out, how can I be different than everybody else? And I'm doing that right now. It just took me 25 years to figure that shit out, but sometimes it takes a while, and I'm very happy at what I do, but it takes relentless drive to get on that map to where you got to go. Relentless. And you're going to fail. You're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get beat. You're going to lose contracts. Fuck it. Keep moving, because my motto is, I never lose. I either win or I learn.
Cool. Amazing. Mindset map motion. So I think I know what you're going to say. So what is a habit that you have that you think has contributed to your success? To your success, a habit.
A habit of not quitting.
Okay. Being relentless, not quitting, persistency.
You can't quit. It's going to get hard. I mean, we don't have time for me to tell you about all the shit that I've went through. If I were to tell you right now what I've went through in the last 3 years, the majority of the people out there would say, how in the fuck are you still living?
I quit. Yeah. Yeah. So don't quit. Don't ever fucking quit. Right.
Never
awesome.
quit.
Mindset map motion measure. So what do you think about measuring and tracking?
Oh, I think it's very important. You have to track on what you're doing. And, I'm always the individual that with my business, I'm always trying to drive revenue, keep driving revenue. And I track shit constantly where I'm at. I set my houses up on a schedule, which right now the economy's kind of fucked up. So my schedules are a little hammered, but I've got a project up here that I'm building. I'm building a wellness center for a shaman up here. And, we're about a month and a half ahead of schedule, but I think it's very important to track everything that you do, to know exactly where you are. how much money I made in 2020, how much money I made in 2021, how much taxes did I pay in 20 and 21? How am I going to change that? What do I need to do? I have meetings with my accountant and I have a meeting with my bookkeeper constantly on, okay, how are we going to do this? What do we look like towards the end of the year? I break it up into 4 quarters, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and then how are we going to look at the end on fourth quarter? And I'm always tracking my revenue, what I've got coming in. And oh yeah, it's a constant battle, but you don't know where you are if you don't know where you are.
If you don't know where you are, you don't know where to start from. If you don't know where you want to go, how are you going to know how to get there? And if you don't have that map, well, how are you going to get there in the first place, right? So yeah, man. So thank you for mindset, map, motion, measure, money, right? Everyone wants money, which is results physically, emotionally, spiritually, sentimentally, with relationships and financially. If you want those results, you got to get your mindset, your map, your motion, your measure, and you'll get the money. So this is the end. Jim, thank you very much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. Really enjoyed talking to you and you know, like, and you sharing like the six pieces of things that you do and everything, man. So it was really valuable for me, and I bet it's going to be really valuable for other people. And if other people out there want to learn more about Jim Steg, what you do with either custom homes or with either Awakening and with your book and all of that, where can they find you, man?
There's my name, Jim Steg on Facebook, Jim Steg on actually Steg Custom Homes on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I don't have a ton of time. You know, you can go to YouTube, look up Steg Custom Homes or Jim Steg on YouTube. I have a lot of videos there. It's under Steg Custom Homes on YouTube. I have a channel there. I also have another channel for the Awakening. I've got the Awakening on Facebook, the Awakening on Instagram, the Awakening on YouTube. So it's either Jim Steg, Steg Custom Homes, or the Awakening.
Awesome. So that's it. Thank you very much, man.
Cool. Right on. Thanks for having me. And when you get an opportunity, this recording, see if you can download it and send it over to me.
Oh yeah. I'm going to send you the full video, like edited with an intro and an outro. Like this recording is going to be turned into dozens of clips in post. And we're going to make a post for your book, for your event and all of that. So yeah, man, of course.
Cool. Right on. Hey, it's good talking with you, man.
Yeah, same. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for watching the Gentleman's Success, Happiness, and Fulfillment Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with one friend, leave us a comment, and let us know. 99% of people never leave a review or comment, but we love and are very thankful with the 1% of you who do. If there's something or someone you want to see on this podcast, send me a message on Instagram at Alex_Ramirez1020 and let me know. As a thank you for that, I have an amazing surprise for each and every one of you who does take the time to leave us a comment or review on YouTube or one of the major podcasting platforms